In 1993, DC Comics, in conjunction with Byron Press Visual Media, published a series of comic books of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Some of these were very good, but the artwork was pretty rubbishy, I have to say. They were produced in between 1993 and a collector's edition was produced in 1997. Douglas Adams had little, if anything, to do with these, and despite the opportunity to improve the visual splendour of the saga, there are no limitations, you can draw whatever you want, the artwork was pretty lacklustre. Indeed, the characterisation was just as bland as the adaptations of the book, which were heavily abridged. Fans of the saga, who, as you're probably beginning to appreciate, don't agree on much, were almost unanimous in their condemnation. So we're not going to spend too much time on this. And this brings us on to the final version of the saga, the Hitchhiker's Guide movie, the Hollywood Adaptation. Now, there's been a lot of good and bad things said about this movie, but Douglas Adams took a major part in writing the script. It was based on the books and not on the radio or TV shows. There are mixed feelings about the film. Some think it has completely missed the point, and others are enthralled by its warm, approachable feel and excellent graphics. The movie introduced many new fans to the saga and was produced some memorable performances and some excellent special effects. So, is it good or bad? Well, personally, it's bad. It's really bad. You won't believe how vastly, staggeringly, jaw-droppingly bad it is. I mean, you might think that Masters of the Universe was so bad that it should have been on Mystery Science Theatre 3000, but that's just peanuts to the Hitchhiker's Guide movie. Listen, and so on. I personally found this film very hard to watch first time. I was so familiar with the books, the radio series and the TV show. It's just, they seem to miss out completely the whole point of the saga. And all those old friends, the jokes, were absent. They just wrote them out. This is not completely surprising, of course, since Cary Kirkpatrick's, the brain behind the silly children's movie Chicken Run, wrote most of the script, and the deadly duo first-time filmmakers Garth Jennings and Nick Goldsmith directed it. These two had previously only produced music videos for R.E.M., Supergrass and Pulp. It bloody well showed. In fairness, though, some people had never read the series. They'd never watched the TV shows or listened to the radio, and they thought the film was actually pretty good. Let's give you a couple of examples. Two clips, one from the TV show and one from the film. It's when Arthur first realises that his house is being knocked down and then sees the coronary-provoking chaos of the Vogon constructor fleet for the first time.
I'll do it some more, and then I'll take all the little bits and I'll jump on them and I'll carry on jumping them until I get blisters. Or I think of something even more pleasant to do. What the hell's that?
This is a mild example, and there are many other instances where the show is the mistakes are far more severe. But fundamentally, Arthur, the lead character, is portrayed in the film for some strange reason as cowardly, when in every other version of the saga, he's just simply not heroic. Martin Freeman's efforts transform Arthur from being a character most of us could relate to someone we would just look at as an irritating prick. Okay, now Zaphod and his heads. Sam Rockwell's version of Zaphod Beeblebrox was not Zaphod Beeblebrox, he was just nasty and mean. He's nasty not in the hey monkey man fun kind of way, he's just irritating and nasty. Mark Wynne Davey took a lot of trouble to make Zaphod appear laid back and cool, not like a total git. Maybe he's just mean because of the second head face thing. This was a Douglas Adams idea, by the way, and it only goes to prove that Douglas Adams, though being a genius, could have a bad day. If I had a head like that, I'd be pretty damn mean too. He doesn't have a proper second head. This is one sort of second face that appears in his throat and pops out. It's not funny, it's sick. I don't want to belabour the point, but the fact that Zaphod had two heads was the whole joke. This was one personality which was shared between two heads. It wasn't one nasty and one cool, or... The whole point is the second head was purely cosmetic. It served no useful purpose whatsoever. It was a good joke. The film completely ruined it. Okay, I've got to say something good about it, haven't I? The special effects were great, really good. Check out the Vogue on Homeworld.
The President tests my patience. This time I shall pursue him myself. Ready, my ship.
Fantastic. At last.
Oh, that's 1 hour for lunch, everybody.
There are some really good parts of the film, however. No, really, there are. Bill Nighy's performance as Slarty Bardfast was really good. Even better, or as good as, Richard Vernon's performance in the TV series. And the special effects were great. One of my favourite scenes from the film is where they enter the planet Magrathea's interior to see Earth Mark II being built. Check this out.
Welcome to our factory floor.
Sometimes, and this will really annoy fans of the saga, they seem to get elements of the story completely wrong. For instance, Zaphod Beeblebrox goes to deep thought to find out the question to life, the universe and everything. Deep thought is only powerful enough to calculate the answer, 42. They needed to build a bigger computer to calculate the question. I thought that was the whole point. I thought that's why it lasted the full length of the book, because that was being explained. It didn't quite work for me, that. I'm not saying that people didn't try and make this film a go. They did. There are some great little bits and pieces in the film which, if you look closely, you'll spot, and which are pretty good. Presumably they're put there for the fans, but I think there are also some for comedic value. I particularly like the little Apple logo just above Deep Thought's right eye, but also the fact that Douglas Adams' mother and people in the family were in one of the first scenes in the picnic area, for instance, at the beginning of the film. I guess as a real fan, I can't ignore this film. I've seen it 2 or 3 times now, and I am warming to it, as I said at the beginning, but it's still diabolically bad. The plot is strung together randomly, and the characterisation is poor. The filmmakers have taken most of the jokes out and substituted them with miserable lines of playground humour, or simply not replaced them at all. It's unconvincing, badly acted, poorly written, stupidly directed, and staggeringly unfunny. This is not a fitting end to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They're going to do something with the saga again. I don't know when or how, but they will. And when they do produce something better, we'll be there to review it. That's all. Until next time, bye for now.